Record. Okay, we are in progress. We are here. So this is our Sunday night 20-minute boot camp check-in. A different leader comes to you every Sunday night to bring you some tips and tricks and encouragement and mindset to help you on your health journey. One of the things that I love and you'll be hearing a lot about in the coming months is Beachbody's making some changes. Even though we did not set out to be synonymous with bikinis and the beach, and that's not where the Beachbody name came from, they realized in general we're getting a lot of tags from it that's not the message we really intended to keep. We're not about quick fixes, we're about lifestyle changes, we're about committing, deciding, making a change for a healthier you for all that you get. And so we are going to be phasing into the name body only and no longer Beachbody. So there's some changes around the conversation. We'll be talking a lot more about mindset and movement and progress forward, and different things will be coming out in the new year to help you continue that journey in a healthful, mindful way, which I think as our team, at least my heart and my understanding and hope is that we already lead with this. We already lead with working on ourselves and personal development and really changing what's up here and loving where we are in our journey. And this is just going to help us do that much more. So if you've seen some posts from anybody you follow, there is some changes coming, but it's all good. There's all just more good coming your way. So tonight, my focus is enjoying the holidays healthy. We're kicking off the season of holidays. And I kind of made a joke with myself on Friday. I was like, surprise, it's Friday. And in reality, are we ever really surprised about a Friday or a holiday? Like, they usually come weekly, monthly, annually. We're not really surprised by them. And yet for some reason, I know, at least for myself, I've spent so much time feeling like I'm not prepared for them or finding a lot of struggle. And I usually would end up throwing my hands up and like, I just can't be healthy. I'll wait until the first. And I'll start over in New Year's. I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm going to give up trying to be healthy. I'm going to give up trying to make changes. It's just too hard. And so some encouragement, some numbers coming your way. In the reality, the amount of days that we have left in the year versus how many actual holidays there is lots of room for celebration and enjoying these things that you don't have to throw in the towel. And in reality, we really have to make it a lifestyle change. And since we know holidays are going to keep coming around, getting a place where we can understand our own needs and our relationship with the holidays and choices that we make and how we can improve those is just going to be that much more helpful. So I have my big holiday top tips here for you. There's 9 of them, and then I'll probably give you a bonus because I like 10. I'm going to share my screen for you. And if you have a specific struggle that you want me to address when it comes to the holiday season, put it in the chat. You can either private message it to me or just put it in the chat for everybody. And we'll make sure that we can use our collective power to answer that for you. So I'm going to share my screen for you. Okay, so this is my mini me. I had to upgrade her because my hair keeps growing longer and longer. So I had to like add a longer ponytail for her. And I'm just gonna hit you with the first idea is it's a holiday, not a holiday. I think so often, if you're in an office environment or even in your home, holidays can end up being more than just that one day. And it can end up being that we have those cookies, the wine, the cakes, the silly things that we don't need, but we enjoy in our house. And I know for me personally, I struggled being the finisher. I don't know if anybody else here could take that title as something that they owned, but I really owned being the finisher. And I felt that it was me who needed to finish all those things to get them out of the house. And then I could go back to being healthy or normal. And so the truth is, you don't have to finish everything. You don't have to be the one to finish everything. You don't have to say yes and take everything. You can freeze things, hide them in the back of your freezer. Especially with the holiday season coming, I didn't find a local dentist that did it, but I did find last year there was a food bank advertising for it. But I know in our West Coast friends, we had some dentists that actually would take Halloween candy from kids and they could trade it in for cash or other prizes. So hit up Google, hit up Facebook, see if anybody's doing a candy swap or trade where you can trade candy in for something that is not a silly treat, for something that is different. And in also doing this, know what your weaknesses are. So I have my specific favorite candies. I know that I could sit down and easily eat 8 Reese's peanut butter cups. Ooh, I got so excited from dancing. I finished my activity for the day. I know that I can sit down and eat 8 to 10 Reese's peanut butter cups in one setting, because I know that if I'm going to be giving out something or buying something for Joseph to take to school, I'm not going to choose what is Jen's weakness. I'm not going to buy and bring the temptation into my house so that I can make the decision of saying no over and over and over and over and over again. I'm going to keep that out of the house. Something that I've had a lot of fun with is Amazon and Target and even the dollar store have so many cool stickers and neon erasers and skull candy, like the white face with the painting on it from the Day of the Dead. Like, they have so many cool little things that you can give out. They have nothing to do with food. And so I encourage you that if you are trying to make a change away from sugar, that I encourage you not to pass that habit on to others, not to buy sugar to give out. Be the changer both for yourself, to break that habit for yourself, and pay forward a different way to give a treat. Joseph got a really cool thing from my mom this Halloween that is these little pop-ups, and they unfold and they're like a paper Lego game, and they celebrate every day leading up to Halloween, and there's no candy involved. He's unfolding a mystery story that he has to solve. And I just love that idea. He's having so much fun opening that up every day, and has nothing to do with candy. So make it a holiday, not a holiday. If you want to enjoy those things, you can. To Be Mindset and Portion Fix both allow for enjoying those things. This is life. We're going to have those things. Do we need them in our house every day? And do we need to eat them every day until they're gone? That's not something that we have to do. So maybe that's an old story that we can release if you're anything like I was. The next one I have for you is make it about the experience, make it about the memories. Take as many pictures as you can, especially with those who are visiting or who you don't usually see a lot, or the elders. Have them tell you stories from when they were a kid. What did Halloween or the holidays look like to them? Look through old pictures and work to create experiences and memories instead of making it about the candy. Maybe breaking out a flashlight and turning out the lights and telling ghost stories, or getting under a tent with your blankets and doing something different than making it about the candy or the food. Okay, the third one here is water first. Have water first. And I even added into this now. We had 2 different parties we were at yesterday. And not only did I eat a nutritious meal before I went to the first party and get my shake in on the drive, I also drank water first, took a water with me so that I wasn't at the mercy of their offerings. And I also brushed my teeth. So who says you can't brush your teeth 10 times a day? I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I don't get them the twice a day. If I'm honest, I miss sometimes. I'm not perfect in the toothbrush scenario, but we say dinner and done, find other fun, go brush your teeth after dinner. Why not brush your teeth after lunch before you go to a party, and to kind of set yourself in your mind before you go. Moving on, thinking when you're at that party is go veggie heavy. You can try those, buffalo dips and ranch dips and the dips and cheeses that you enjoy. Just take a note from Alana's To Be Mindset and add to that veggies instead of the chip. so that you're getting that crunch and you're getting those flavors, but you're also getting the fiber and the nutrients that come from the vegetables. It's one thing, like, marketing really makes Americans think they're low in protein, and statistically we're low in fiber. So I loved, actually pulled it out to review it, but I love in the gut protocol, it goes over the different bowel movements and the fact that we do have everything related to whether or not we have a healthy digestive system and enough fiber. And most people are actually finding themselves in that stool of being not having enough fiber. It's why Shakeology added more fiber and digestive enzymes to their blend this last year. Okay, feel the burn. I am not saying work out an extra workout so you can eat silly stuff. I never work out because of what I did eat or what I'm going to, and I encourage you to embrace that too. Moving your body for the mobility and longevity of it, because I found that after I work out, I'm more likely to enjoy water first and take a little more mindfulness when it comes to eating. I find that I feel better emotionally. Someone said they like to burn the crazy off, or they noticed how when they work out emotionally, they feel more stable and they're feeling more positive mentally. There's so many studies of how good moving your body is. Please do not work out to burn off something you ate. You don't need to do 2 or 3 workouts because you're going to have a cake tonight. I talked about it on Friday too. Like, we go into the weekend and just don't track, don't eat, don't follow any of our courses Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday undoing what we did for 3 days and only make progress on Thursday. It makes our journey feel a lot longer. But it also, did we really need to do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Could we have just enjoyed Friday night, move right back to normal on Saturday, and then not have that seesaw? Along the lines also of the seesaw, I call it like the dance. I find that most often the struggle that we have in trying to make healthy choices in the holiday is when we start to question ourselves, when we start to negotiate with ourselves, when we start to like, oh, I can just have one more. I can just have one more. And one more turns into 10 cookies instead of truly sitting and enjoying the first one and then stepping back, drinking some water, or jumping onto my next tip here, drinking some unsweet tea or some kind of cider or something that doesn't have like sugar added to it, and just enjoying that warm beverage in your hand, or enjoying that water, and just turning back the focus to who you're with and what you're enjoying. And who you're with could be with yourself. You could be indulging in a movie or music or reading a book or an audible with yourself. You don't have to be with others to make it about the experience and the memories. And this kind of takes us back into my next tip, which is our happy hour, having more sober days. The happy hour is 1 hour. However, so often it turns into a happy day or a happy week. So just being mindful with how much we're indulging in the silly extra drinks, how we're feeling, and maybe taking note of why we're drinking it. If we drank more than one, why did we drink more than one? Did it help us feel better? And what could we have done next time so you can bring that to the table? The next one is one of my favorites, and that's treat, not cheat. You are not cheating, just like you cannot be late or fall off a wagon to your own life. This moment, the decision that you make and what you're doing is in this moment. There's no wagon, there's no good or bad. There's simply how you can move forward with what you're thinking. So enjoy the treats that you choose to eat, savor them. Try to take as many small bites as you can. I think Autumn talks about people reach out to her and very upset that 8 potato chips is 1 yellow container. And she's like, don't be mad at me. I'm taking the macros from a potato chip, and 8 chips fills up 1 whole container. Be mad at the people that made them, not at me. I didn't make them. But if you're really honest about it, usually when we have 1 chip and then we end up eating the whole bag, did you really taste and enjoy that second, third, fourth handful? stressful. No, it just became more like habit. And then you're not satisfied anyway. If you're like me and you're honest about it, like, no, wasn't really satisfied, find myself back in the kitchen, wondering why I ate that, you know? And then my ninth tip is have fun. If you want it done, make it fun. Puzzles over pretzels, have puzzles, being doing something with your hand, maybe knitting, maybe taking on a new craft, or updating your vision board, or making a memory board. Watch a movie, some games, tell jokes, dress up on a random Sunday night, to show up somewhere. Do crafting, or do something that it doesn't have to involve food. So I just want to encourage you that you can embrace where you are right now. You can enjoy where you are right now, and then you can make it even better. Because in reality, if we wait until January 1st and we just do whatever we want from the holidays, waiting for the first and doing whatever we want to the holidays is just going to make changing those habits even harder come January 1st, because you're going to spend another 3 months reinforcing what you need to do. So I have a great question about tips on family events and dinners. I've had a couple things that have really worked well for me personally. I actually talked to my mom ahead of time and said, this is what I'm trying to work on. I've really been overindulging. Would you be willing to share with me what you're having so that I can contribute some extra veggies or prepare myself for the choices I'm going to have? And my mom's been really helpful in that she asks me for recipes to make. And now I go to my mom's house, and, at dinner, there's a huge container of green beans and carrots with nothing on it, and then I can season it how I want. And there's a salad, but all her dressings and extra toppings are on the side, so I can put how much I want. And she's been really great about hearing me once I told her what I was struggling with and what I'm trying to do. And so instead of holding it all in, this is when it's your family. Reach out to them and have a conversation. And if they come at you with something negative, that's where we get to lean into this group. That's where there are times that things have been said against me trying to be healthy. And, there's been some situations in work or some other environments that they're like, oh, come on, just eat the cake. Like, come on, really. And I really wasn't hungry or didn't want it, but I felt guilted into it. So knowing yourself on that. Another thing that I really like to practice is, thank you so much for making this so special. I couldn't possibly eat anymore. Because something that I really found with my dad's side of the family is I would show up and there would be literally one whole pie for everybody, because there was so many different types of pies and desserts, and they would just want to keep giving us more and more. And so I got to the point where I had to say, no, thank you. And the way I found for me to say it was, thank you so much for making today so special. I couldn't possibly eat anything else, and kind of diverting it that way. You also can do the same with, you don't have to take home the leftovers. Thank you so much for offering. We already have everything planned out for the week, and I just don't know how I could fit this in. Or you could take it and give it away or freeze it. You can make some of those choices for you. For me, also making the decision before I go, I'm going to have one dessert. I'm not going to have 3 desserts, and then sticking to that decision instead of negotiating with myself when I'm there. Making sure that I moved my body and that I don't go hungry. Make sure that I took a nap if I can, make sure I moved my body, make sure that I'm like in my best self when I'm going. I almost always have Shakeology and tea in my purse. And a lot of times I'll bring extra veggies to share, which is really just a way for me to go veggie heavy on my own plate. So hopefully some of those will help. Oh, and I love that Andrea shared the Oriental Trading Company has a lot of neat little things that you can buy in bulk and pass out that aren't candy. So, and this is also a great time to rewatch your nutrition course, recommit to how you're wanting to feel and who you want to be. How do you want to feel when you walk in that room? And know that you are worth it in every moment right now, and being able to move forward that way. So this is the time to lean into those of us in the group. If you don't have that support at home, maybe your significant other is bringing home all the extra stuff and putting all that temptation around you and not understanding why you can't look at cake and not eat the whole thing. I know my husband can take a couple bites of a piece of cake and feel that's enough for him and leave one bite on his plate. He will leave one bite of cake on his plate. And me, I'm like, even if I'm stuffed, I will finish that piece of cake. And I don't understand why it's a mental struggle that I've been working on to let that one piece go. And it's so easy for him. And it's because we're all different. We've all had different experiences. And, we had the clean plate club growing up, and we had to make sure we ate our food because of those that didn't have. And some of those mindsets are things that we can kind of uncover and then know about ourselves and then set ourselves up for how we can address it. So I know that was a mouthful for me anyway. I hope one of those tips were helpful. I'm going to be sharing in the events some graphics for you. I've got some great Shakeology recipes. You can make them all spooky and fun like, and I've got some other little tips and things for you. A Halloween bingo that you can play with your family or with your private groups, maybe in Messenger. Oh, my phone's telling me it's time to get ready for bed. Yes, there's lots of in getting your fix with a lot of recipes and things like that in the blog, in Body, in your resources. Use your resources. You have them, you own them, and your resources are both in the on demand and also in your community here. So I hope this was helpful. I'm going to turn off the recording and I'll make sure that I share my graphics with the fellow coaches so we can get them in all our different groups and you can pick and choose what's right for you. And I just encourage you to have fun with it. And if you find something that really works for you, share it in your group so that someone else who might be silently struggling can give it a try, because you never know who's watching and not saying anything. Okay, so don't know who all is on with me.